I welcome you all to the Surana and Surana Trial Advocacy Final Rounds competition at Bharati Vidyapeeth's New Law College, Pune. I congratulate all the teams who have participated in this competition and who could make it to the quarterfinals and semifinals. But then the best of the best comes in the finals, and I wish them a good luck. I hope that this session of 1.5 hours as a final round will be a thrilling sessions where you will see the magic of cross-examination, re-examination, and chief examination in presence of the real judges. We have as the final round judges, Honorable Mr. Justice A.V. Shesasai, the Judge High Court of Judicature at Hyderabad, Honorable Mr. Justice M. Sitaraman Murthy, Judge High Court of Judicature at Hyderabad, and Honorable Srimati Justice Anu Shivaraman, Judge High Court of Kerala. I warmly welcome them on behalf of Surana and Bharati Vidyapeeth Law College, Pune. I wish the participants all the best and I request the court to start the proceedings. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. May it please this honorable court that I am the counsel for the prosecution in the case of State of Jagatar versus Abhishek, Angad, and Dushyant. Together with me are my co-counsels Yashraj Samant, Avni Gupta, and G.S. Srinidhi. Your Lordship, today I will be dealing with the opening statement as well as the chief examination, and my co-counsel Yashraj Samant will be dealing with the cross-examination and will deliver the closing statement. Your Lordship, the Council humbly submits that this Honorable Court has jurisdiction to try the instant matter under Section 177, read with Section 184 and 209 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Your Lordship, for the sake of convenience of the Council, may the Council refer the bench to as Your Lordships. Much obliged, Your Lordships. Your Lordships, it was one fine evening when there were four college students, namely Natasha, Tanya, Abhishek, and Angad, who were standing at the bus stop. At that point of time, two people, namely Dinesh and Peter, came in the bike, and for some strange reason, Abhishek and Angad started pelting stones at them. Because of that, there was a commotion, and there was this disruption of public order, the peace and tranquility of this place. Incident beg your pardon, Your Lordship.
Is he in his uniform, the police officer?
No,
expert witness under section 45 in the instant case, and a pathologist is also an MBBS, and an MBBS doctor, such as he of his stature, conducting post-mortem reports, ought to know the basic medical science of what a coup and counter coup is.
It could be different with respect to different specialties.
Counsel, you are making an objection to the court. What are you supposed to do first? Yes.
My next question to you, Dr. Kalra, is when a deceased
What's
has
your
a,
question? Difference
When-
between a counter coup injury and a coup injury?
but I didn't get the answer, so I moved on to the next question.
Insist on your answer.
Please answer. Please address the answer that the court has also asked.
You are not aware?
No, sir.
How many, question by the court, how many forensic examinations you have conducted so far in your experience?
I have examined. Yes, sir. Can you please repeat the question, sir?
We are in a court, please don't clap. Yes.
Sir, can you please repeat the question, sir?
How many examinations, post-mortem examinations have you conducted in your experience so far?
The exact stats that I could say that how many postmortem I have conducted.
Your Honor, please note that the memory of the witness here is fake. My next question to you, doctor, to save the time of the court, is what is the meaning of the word triggered?
Triggered means the initiate. The main injury was on the front side of the vein, which was triggered means that the introduction was on the front side of the head.
Doctor, I didn't ask you triggered as per the case. I asked you as per English parlance, what is the meaning of the word triggered?
Means initiated, means what caused to the death.
Your Honor, I would just like to put this on record. I will deal with it in my closing submission. My last question to you, doctor, is that with a potassium level in the body, such as 2.5 millimoles per liter, it's true to say that anyone could have just died, isn't it?
Object, Your Lordship, it is again the prerogative of the forensic team and not of the given post-mortem conducting doctor.
Your Honor, by not conducting the chief of the pathologist, my learned oppositions has circumvented their liability. So it is my duty to ask the MBBS doctor with so much of an expertise. Basic potassium levels are studied in the first 2 years of college in the chemistry subject, and he ought to know it if you all are producing him as an expert witness.
Question is permitted, answer.
Please repeat the question.
With a potassium level of 2.5 millimoles per liter, is it possible that the deceased could have died?
No.
I wouldn't go into asking him why. The witness is excused. Thank you so much for sparing your time. I would like to deal with the next witness and call him to the stand. That is the investigating officer, who is PW3 in the instant case.
Prosecutor, why did you allow the witness to go without saying whether you have any re-examination or not?
Your Lordship, in the given instance, there is no provision for the examination after the
I would again remind you that whatever you say is on oath, and you have to say the truth and nothing else. Otherwise, you will be committing the offense of perjury. As a lawyer, it is my duty to tell you.
I take the oath. I'll tell the truth only.
Great. How many years of experience do you have as an investigating officer?
8 years experience.
With such a great experience, can you elaborate to this honorable bench what is the general procedure that is followed once you have been assigned the investigation of a certain case?
First of all, when I come to know about the incident, I went to the incident.
I would like to pause you here. I am not asking you about this incident. I am asking you about a general incident.
First of all, when we come to know about any incidents, we go to the spot and collect the evidences and file panchnamas.
Under what provision do you have the authority to carry out this investigation?
Under section 100 CRPC,
Your Honor, please put this on record. Did you record the day-to-day investigation that you carried out in the instant case?
Yeah, I do.
And where have you recorded it? Can you tell the court?
I have recorded.
Irrelevant question.
I would like to point out that the investigating officer has not maintained a case diary and is unaware about the same as is mandated under section 172 of the CRPC. Is it true to say that the charge sheet filed by you at Annexure 6 is full of discrepancies?
No.
Can you please tell me the FIR number that you have filed in the instant case?
I hadn't filed FIR.
But since you are the investigating officer, is it true to say that you ought to be aware about all the parts of the investigation?
I hadn't filed FIR. I got to know about the incidents from my senior.
Your Honor, please put this on record that the investigating officer is unaware about the FIR number, and that casts credibility on how he can be aware about the other important and more vital aspects of the case. My next question to you is, who told you about the complaint and the FIR?
Dinesh told me about the complaint.
Your Honor, the complainant has told the investigating officer about the complaint. I would like to ask you that, as you stated in your examination in chief, you were present at the police station when Dinesh came. Is it true to say that?
Yeah.
So you would know who was the officer who recorded the information.
Dineshwar Sharma, the officer who recorded the.
I beg your pardon?
Dineshwar Sharma.
Dineshwar Sharma. Your Lordships, I would please bring your attention to Annexure A, which is on page 9, which clearly says that information recorded by Inspector Bharat Sharma.
Your Lordship, the witness in this case filed so many complaints, and it's impossible. It's a 4-month-old incident. It's impossible for him to remember.
You reserve your right for re-examination?
He does have a right for re-examination. Do you want me to tell you the provision?
No. Not necessary.
Is it true to say that you prepared the Panchnama at Annexure 2?
Yeah.
If you want, I will show you the copy of the Panchnama for clarity. Is this Panchnama prepared by you?
Yeah.
So can you please tell me who witnessed the Panchnama and who is the person who attested the Panchnama?
Rupendra Singh and Saurabh Seth were the two witnesses who attested the Panchnama.
Your Lordship, I would like to bring your attention to page 10, where the signatures of the witnesses are Mr. Anuj Mahajan and Aditya Sani. You stated in your examination in chief that you collected evidence like blood, fingerprints, etc.
Yeah.
Where is it true to say that you have not produced the results of this forensic analysis?
I have sent all these evidences to forensic department, and we are regularly in contact with the department.
All right. Is it true to say that a chain of custody has been maintained?
Yeah.
Is it true to say that under section 2B and C of the Code of Central Conduct of Services Rules of 1964, it is not allowed for a government officer to be drunk while he is on public duty, and to class is always on public duty?
Is it from the witness? Whether witness says yes or no, it is.
Your Honor, he is a police officer, a public servant under section 21, and he ought to know what the rules apply to him. And through this, counsel will like to draw an analogy as to link it to the deceased, which will be later dealt with.
Next question.
Can you please explain the sketch that is prepared by you? It is true to say that you visited the crime scene.
Yeah.
Can you please explain to the court the sketch that is prepared by you as to how the incidents transpired? Your Honor, it is pertinent to note that the sketch has apparently allegedly been prepared by him. However, he is taking so much time to figure out even what has been written.
No objection. The sketch, it's not even a sketch, it's a picture of the crime scene, and it has not been prepared by the investigating officer. In this case, it is using photo.
The investigating officer
Counsel for the
claimed-
defense, who prepared the sketch?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who
It has
prepared the
been-
sketch?
It has been mentioned in, I'll tell you. One
Just
second.
now the witness stated he prepared it, is it not?
No, Your Honor, on page 10, it has been written that on 7th April at 11 p.m., the investigating officer visited the crime scene, etc., etc., and he prepared the sketch.
So you prepared this scene of offense sketch, is it not rough sketch?
Yeah, I prepared the sketch of the scene.
Yes.
He has admitted it. My further question to you is it true to say that you have collected evidence about the accused researching about legal provisions and the call record transcripts?
Yeah, I do.
Is it true to say that you have failed to examine a voice analyst to confirm that the transcripts belong to the accused or to trace the IP address?
Voice analysis of whom?
Your Honor, please put that on record.
Object, Your Honor, in the given clarification with respect to the similar question with the veracity of the telephone calls in question, it was stated that no question shall be further as they have been recorded by proper legal professionals and the appropriate legal provisions have been stated.
Your Honor, my reply to that is under Section 22A of the Indian Evidence Act. Even if they may have been done by an appropriate authority, to confirm the contents of the same, oral testimony is required.
Question is allowed.
Is it true to say that you conducted a search and seizure panchnama when you seized these articles?
Yeah, I conducted Caesar Panchanama.
Is it true to say what exactly you found in the search and seizure and who attested it?
Yeah,
Can you elaborate on the same?
I found a metal rod, finger.
I was talking about when you seized the laptop and the phone of the accused. I move on. Is it true to say that you conducted an inquest panchnama?
No.
Please note, put that on record, Your Honors. My witness is excused. Thank you so much.
Whether these collected material objects from the scene,
Pardon, sir?
what did you do with the collected material objects
I sent them to the forensic department.
afterwards?
When we are in contact with them, when we get it, we will. produce
After the
the-
forensic examination and the report from him, where were the objects?
Your Honor, my question about the chain of custody pertained to this question.
Where
I
were
don't
the
know if it was
objects?
understood.
How did they reach the court? Did you take the thumb impressions of the accused and also other details from the accused in the presence of a magistrate by making a requisition?
Yeah, no, sir. No, sir.
You did not follow that procedure.
Yeah.
Where did you take their signatures and thumb impressions? Yes, next question. Did you cordon the crime scene immediately after receiving the information about the crime?
Pardon, sir?
Did you cordon this scene of offense immediately after receiving the information about the crime?
Yeah.
Are you sure that anybody did not touch the iron rod before the accused touched it? After the accused touched it?
No, sir.
Did you take the assistance of any forensic expert when the iron rod is collected?
I have
Was he
sent,
present with you?
I have sent, when I collected the iron rod, I sent them to the forensic department.
But an expert was present with you to preserve the thumb impressions on the rod when you
Yeah.
collected it?
An expert of forensic department was with me.
Did you mention so in your diaries or in the charge sheet?
No, I didn't mention it.
Thank you. Any questions in re-examination?
Your Honor, the examination can be conducted after the first purpose.
My next witness is PW4, Dinesh, who is the complainant in the instant case. You're on oath and you will state the truth.
Yes, I will state that.
How old are you, Dinesh?
I am 34 and about to get 35.
And what are you studying right now?
In Presidency College, I am studying about the political
What course are you doing?
political science,
I agree, but what is your graduation? What are you doing exactly?
post-graduation.
All right, so basically for around 10 years, you were sitting at home. Is it true to say?
I took a drop.
All right. Can you please tell me, is it true to say that is it true to say that the FIR was written by you?
I didn't wrote it. I just mentioned everything orally.
Who was the person who recorded the information?
I don't know. It was some inspector who was sitting there.
Is it true to say that the FIR was shown to you before you signed it?
Yes.
Honor, please take on record that he had not even read the FIR before he signed it, since he didn't know who was the person who was recording it. Since he needs to be sure about the veracity as to if he is writing the same thing. So he should have been aware.
So how would, can I just say, how would this?
You cannot question me.
Okay, fine.
You can't answer. You can't
Fine.
answer.
Okay.
Is it true to say that in your brief facts that you have narrated?
But defense counsel, let him clarify, he's adding something to his answer.
Perfect.
Yes.
Can I add? So how it will matter that I know that person by name or not? If he has given me the FIR to read, I have read it and I signed it. So how will it mention that I had to know that name of the inspector who is there?
All right, so I'll put a further question to follow up. Is it true to say that the person who recorded the FIR and signed the FIR was the same?
Yes.
Your Honor, please turn to page 9. The person who, the signature was by Nishtha Arora and the person recording the FIR was Inspector Bharat Sharma. You have admitted in your examination in chief that you knew the deceased personally, am I right?
Yes.
So the deceased was close to the ruling party, correct?
Yes.
Please note the deceased was close to the ruling party. Is it true to say that you detest people who, stand up against the government laws and create rallies or hold protests?
No, I don't.
But so you are trying to tell me that in your statement to the police, you have lied by saying that you detested Angad and Abhishek.
No, I didn't lie that. I just said that when they were pelting stones and they were threatening me, then I started detesting them, because who will just pelt stones at someone like that?
All right, so you're trying to say, is it true to say that before the incident that occurred on 7th April, you did not know about them or their background?
I just know about Abhishek and Angad because of their rallies and protests.
Is it true to say that in your examination in chief, you have said that you don't know about Angad but only about Abhishek?
No, I said I know about both of them.
Is it true to say that you were abused by the pedestrians on 7th April?
I don't remember.
30th March or whichever date when you were at the bus stop?
I don't remember.
Is it true to say that Abhishek and Angad tried to stop you from eve teasing but you didn't listen?
I didn't eve tease anyone. I must have been wrongly interpreted.
Is it true to say that there is no tea stall near your college?
Yes, it is. There is a tea stall.
Can you please tell me the distance between the tea stall and your college?
Distance between, it's right next to the college only, near the bus stop.
Is it true to say that Abhishek and Angad chased you and your friend away? They were just horrible and they just chased you away. Is it true to say?
No.
Is it true to say that Abhishek threw the metal rod at the deceased?
Yes.
Your Honor, please note that Abhishek threw the metal rod on the deceased and did not hit or inflicted any blow on the deceased. Please tell me, Dinesh, who was present at the crime scene?
At the crime scene, there was Abhishek, Angad, Amit Chaudhary, and two friends of Abhishek and Angad, and it was me and my friend Peter.
Your Honor, please note that he has failed to establish the presence of the auto garage wala, who is apparently their sole eyewitness in the incident case.
But how?
He's not supposed to know about the auto witness. There might be 1,000 pedestrians. He's not supposed to name them.
So he should have said amongst other people. All right, perfect. The honors will decide. Is it true to say that that Abhishek just flung the metal rod at the deceased?
Already answered. Next.
All right, my beg your pardon. Can you please elaborate the brief facts of the case that you have mentioned in your complaint?
In the complaint, I said that when I was sitting with Peter on the tea stall, the four of them came and they started pelting stones at me. And when I was about to ride my bicycle, my motorbike, Amit Chaudhary came from behind, and the three of them started. They were fighting, and then I just saw that Abhishek went to the auto garage or motor, and he took an iron rod. He hit it on the ground, and he aimed and threw it on Amit Chaudhary.
Is it true to say that you have not mentioned the name of the accused in your brief facts of the case?
Abhishek, yes, I mentioned.
Your Honor, please turn to page 9. The brief facts of the case do not mention name of any of the accused. Is it true to say that you have also failed to mention the time and the date in the brief facts of the case?
I have not mentioned anything.
Please
about
put that on record as well. I excuse my witness. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would now call upon my final
1 minute
witness.
witness. Question by the floor.
Yes.
In all, how many persons were present at the scene when you were there?
Um,
Who are known to you?
who are known to me, it was Inspector
Including you.
Chaudhary, Inspector Chaudhary, Peter, my
I want the
friend.
total number.
Okay, Inspector Chaudhary 1, and then Peter, Abhishek, Angad, and 2 friends of them, 6.
What about himself?
Did
Your
the
Honor?
2 girls complain against you to anybody that you are teasing them?
No. Thank you.
I would like to call upon the final witness, the auto garage worker. Can you please introduce yourself for the record of the court?
My name is Jatin.
Can you please tell us how you earn your livelihood?
I work at the auto garage shop because I don't know anything else.
Is it true to say that you wind up? Is it true to say that you wind up your activities around 5:36 in the evening and head home?
No, I work till 9 or 10 in the night.
Is it true to say that you work even on Sundays?
Yes.
Do you personally know Abhishek and Angad?
Do I personally know?
Is it true to say that you lied on examination in chief when you said that you personally knew Abhishek?
Please
Not
repeat the
necessary.
question.
It's a matter of inference.
Alright. Do you have any prejudice against Abhishek and Angad?
No, I don't.
Is it true to say that you dislike people who hold rallies and protests and stand up for their voice?
No, I don't hate them, but because of that, my shop had to be closed because they are rallying all the time. That's why.
Can you please elaborate on how? Can you please elaborate on the loss caused to your shop?
The loss caused to my shop is not as such. My stuff is being broken open. That it's my livelihood. It's my only bread and butter to my family. So if it is closed for one day, we are not able to afford food or anything else.
So is it true to say that your statement given to the police under section 161, where you said that you detested people like Abhishek and Angad, is false?
No,
Is it true to say that now you're contradicting your statement?
detest doesn't. I don't hold grudges against them. I detest them because of them my shop has to
The
be closed.
contradiction is marked. Yes.
Can you please tell me what happened on the 28th and the 30th of March 2016?
Sorry, I don't remember.
Please mark that he was not present on 20th and 30th, which brings the reference that he may not have been working even though it may have been a Sunday.
The question was not that was he present or not. The question was that did you see anything?
As adduced by my opponents, the auto garage is at a very small distance from the bus stop. And the incidents on 20th and 30th have occurred at the bus stop.
But the judges, I am not aware because it was a 4-month-old time, and I don't remember quite what happened at that
Your Honor, please
particular
note,
date.
Your Honor, please note that if he doesn't remember something that happened 4 months ago, which happened on the 30th, 7th April is only at a distance of 7 days away, and that also happened 4 months ago. Is it correct to say that you don't exactly remember what happened on 7th April? Exactly.
Yes.
It is correct to say that he doesn't remember exactly what happened. Who was the tall
Is it
guy?
not a general question?
I beg your
Is it
pardon.
not a general question? Too general.
Your Honor,
Why
the
don't you be
reason.
specific?
Your Honor, the reason of asking him this is because he has stated to the police that he doesn't remember exactly what happened on 7th April. This is just to confirm the fact
What are you driving him to say that?
that he,
If you can disclose.
because Your Honor, he is claimed to be the sole eyewitness. So if he himself doesn't remember what is happening, how can a conviction be based on an eyewitness that doesn't even remember? That's all that the counsel is trying to infer. Can you please tell me who was this tall guy?
No, I don't know him.
That clearly establishes that on 28th and can you please tell me who was present on the 7th of April when the accident occurred?
At the 7th of April, there was Abhishek, his friend, I don't know his name, and the tall guy. I just saw all these 3 people.
Please note that on record. Is it true to say that Abhishek and Angad conducted their protests and rallies only inside their college?
No, but there are people outside with, there are rallies. They are not just confined in a particular space.
Is it true to say that Abhishek and Angad were head of the rallies, but they monitored it from college, which was conducted on the streets?
Your Honor, speculation. How is the autograph worker supposed to answer?
This is to show that he detests them because he has seen them conducting rallies. And in a plethora of people who are in a protest is never of a person alone. It's difficult to identify. This again raises credibility or doubts of credibility. My last question to you is that in your examination in chief, you said that you thought that Abhishek was going to hit you.
He banged that so hard. Yes, I did.
Yes?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would just establish the point that precisely there was no aim that Abhishek was looking at. If there was an aim, it would be aimed at only the deceased. The fact that somebody else thought that the metal rod may even hit him establishes that there was no knowledge that this hit would cause the death of the deceased.
Your Honor, it's just a conjecture at this point. When the witness is even yet to speak or justify his point.
The witness can explain if he wishes to, or de alteram partem.
I was scared that he is going to hit me because he banged the rod so hard on the ground near my feet. That's why I was scared.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
One more question from the court. How many students are participating in the riots and the rallies?
There are so many, I can't count them.
How many are the leaders?
I just got to know the one name, that is Abhishek.
So you do not know the names of all the leaders.
No, I don't.
Any specific reason for remembering the names of these two persons?
Just the Abhishek I remember, sir.
What's the specific reason for remembering
Because his
their
name
names
come
only?
up again multiple times. There was a repetition in his name, that's why I remember his name.
How many rallies were held to your knowledge?
There are so many. No, I don't keep track on how many rallies. I'm sorry, sir.
So I would now hand the baton over to my co-counsel to adduce our examination in chief. Much obliged.
Your Honor, I would like to now call upon Tanya, defendant witness number 4, to the stand. Tanya, you're under oath.
Counsel for the defense before you proceed.
Your Lordship, I'll clarify.
How many witnesses have you cited?
Your Lordship, I'll just clarify that. If you
Let the
could,
prosecutor clarify.
Your Lordship, stated 4 witnesses.
You examined 4. How many cited for examination?
Your Lordship, 6.
6. Are you giving up the remaining witnesses?
Yes, Your Lordship.
File a memo. Next.
Your Lordship, counsel for the defendants shall be conducting examination in chief for Abhishek, Angad, Dushyant, and Tanya. 4 witnesses.
Are you compelled to examine them? Are you compelled to examine them as defense witnesses? Is it necessary absolutely?
Your Lordship, there is no minimum number of witnesses that have to be examined, and I'm not compelled to examine them, but just to adduce what actually happened at the scene of the crime, and she being an only person there at the scene of the crime, I need to examine her.
As a defense witness.
As a defense witness, yeah. Defense witness number 4. Tanya, please kindly introduce yourself to the court.
I'm Tanya Lippert. I study in Presidency College and I'm pursuing final year graduation degree in Political Science and Administration.
Tanya, how do you know Abhishek and Angad?
Abhishek is the president of student union in our college. Abhishek and Angad always stand up for students' rights and they are like guide to all the students in our college.
Did you participate in the protests that took place like in February or so when Abhishek staged a protest?
Yes.
What happened after these protests?
We were looked down upon, because of which we were constantly harassed and teased by Dinesh and Peter. They used to come and pass lewd comments and outrage the modesty of a girl, and they used to pass lewd comments, because of which we used to accompany Abhishek and Angad with us, and people around the bus stop used to abuse them for that.
When did these incidents occur?
First incident took place on 28th of March. And second incident took place after 2 days, 30th of March, and the final incident was the day was the final day of incident was on 7th of April.
What happened on 30th March?
28th of March, we were being
I repeat my question. What happened on 30th March? I said.
On 30th of March, we were again being accompanied by our friends Abhishek and Angad. And Peter and Dinesh started threatening us of dire consequences, and they even intimidated us by showing the hand gesture of a gun.
as you said, on 7th April also they were accosted. What happened on the 7th April?
On 7th of April also they were eve teasing us, but because thankfully because of Abhishek and Angad, they drove them away. And after that, suddenly out of nowhere, this tall guy, the deceased inspector, came out of nowhere and slapped Abhishek and grabbed him by his neck because of and was started taking out his gun. And after that, in order to save his in order to defend himself, in order to save himself, Abhishek just grabbed the first thing that got into his hand and just threw it towards him.
Did the deceased collapse after this entire thing happened?
The deceased was already wobbly and unstable. It seemed like he was drunk. He was stinking of alcohol, and it seemed like he was drunk and he was unstable and was shivering. So when Abhishek threw the stick, so he got unbalanced, and only after when his head hit the stump of the tree he died.
Could you describe the deceased as per your knowledge?
The deceased was about 6 foot something, and he was kind of athletic. He stank of alcohol.
Witness is excused. Roshi, one important point to note here is she says the deceased was wobbly, he was unstable, he stinked of alcohol, and Abhishek at that time, whatever he saw first thing, without even thinking through, whatever he got in the hand. I would now like to call upon Abhishek, defendant witness number 1, the accused number 1.
Why are you examining the accused?
Just to put his story before this court. What did he see? What happened exactly? What happened exactly from the... Lordship, the entire premise is based that the accused threw the metal rod.
To prove your exception, that your case comes under exception, you are examining.
Yeah, and your Lordship, he's the most competent witness under section 315. So I have to examine him to understand what exactly happened and to narrate, put the story before the court, and what exactly happened on the date of the incident. If your Lordship may permit, I may continue with my examination, Chief. Much obliged. Could you please introduce yourself to the court?
Good afternoon, my judges. Myself, Abhishek Leopard, 23 years old, son of Jeevan Leopard, pursuing my post-graduation from Presidency College for Political Science and Administration, and I become a union leader of my college.
You say you want to be a union leader. What is politics for you?
Politics is for me developing a better nation and empowerment of the society. And this is my political view.
You staged protest against for supporting Kedar Lapat's alleged seditious arrest and against Ramayya's arrest as well. Is it?
No, I didn't support. I am against the sedition law and the human law. That's why. Law.
What happened after these protests?
After this protest,
you do not remember what happened after these protests? How did you get to know about Dinesh and Peter?
The two girls, my friend juniors Tanya and Natasha, came to us, me and Angad, and inform us that they've been teased by that two guys on the road. Then after we escorted them to the bus stop.
Please answer your question to the court.
Escorted them to the bus stop and make a authority to brought them safety in the bus. And
when did they ask for this? What? You just described they were teased or something. When did this happen?
March, they have been teased, and that two boys came along with the bike and passing comments on that. That was irrelevant. So, wait.
Did these incidents happen frequently?
Yeah, it is happened again on the 30th March. That two boys came along with their bikes, and they're showing their hands like again, and again they've been teased that girls, and that was so irrelevant. And then that we used to throw at them the small pebbles, not the stones, to throw them away from that place.
What exactly happened? Could you please describe to the court what exactly happened on the date of the incident?
as the on 20th March and the 30th March incident happened, the two boys used to come on the 7th of April, and it is that two girls, and after that we have, as usual, used that small pebbles to throw them away from that place only.
I'm asking you what happened on the date of the incident.
On 7th of April. Like, not why
What had happened on the day, 7th of April, according to your knowledge?
Yeah, I'm just why not? What
What had happened on the day of incident of murder?
I'm describing that only. They came on 7th April, and then they were passing comments, and it is as usual that on 20th March and 30th March. And then we used the small pebbles to throw them from that place. And then after a long physic guy, along 6 feet and athletic body, came from backside and then slapped me, hold my neck, and he was about to take his hand to the hoster, and then Angad shouted, "Go away from, go Angad, go Abhishek, save your life." And that was the not the only reason. The certain threats come on my mind before that was given by the deceased.
Why do you think you reacted this way? Like the way you reacted at the date of the incident?
It was about my life, so a normal prudent person can react in this situation. I reacted that way only.
Witness is excused. The next witness I would like to call upon is Angad Lepar, defendant witness number 2. Mr. Angad, please introduce yourself to the court.
Respected judges, I'm Angad Lepar. I'm pursuing my master's in political science and administration from Presidency College. I also being from the Lepar community, which is a backward community, and for that reason my childhood had been laced with so many difficulties, and still our society our community had been treated as outcasts.
Mr. Angad, how do you know Abhishek?
Abhishek is my childhood friend. He's my very good friend, and I'm blessed to have such a friend. Had it not been such a leader and visionary in our community had been still be treated as outcast. And he always stand for what is right, and he always fight against the atrocities faced by the weaker sections of the society.
Mr. Lepar, did you take part in the protest that Abhishek staged?
Yes, I do.
What happened after these protests?
After these protests, I don't remember exactly. After these protests, there's all the college people. They started taunting us for different reasons, and they treating us as we are anti-nationals.
When you refer to us, who are you referring to?
Our colleagues, our college mates.
Could you just name them, your colleagues and colleagues?
Not a specific anyone.
Okay, they're no colleagues. Okay. What happened on the date of the incident?
On the date of incident, on 7th April, the two biker boys, Dinesh and Peter, came over a motorbike. When Natasha, Tanya, Abhishek, and
Who are this Natasha and Tanya that you're referring to?
Natasha and Tanya are my juniors in the same college, and they often take part in our protest.
Okay, so was it these people you were referring to when you said us and colleagues?
No.
That time they were not part of the protest that you said?
They are the part of the protest. They were not taunting us, even they are supporting us.
Okay. Proceed with what happened at the date of the incident.
Okay, on the date of the incident, when Natasha, Tanya, Abhishek and I were at the bus stop, the two biker boys, Dinesh and Peter, came and started teasing Natasha and Tanya. So we started throwing small pebbles to drove them away. And after they ran away, the police inspector Amit Chaudhary came from behind and suddenly slapped Abhishek. And then he grabbed Abhishek by his neck and just about to draw out his gun. At the meantime, I saw him drawing out about to draw his gun. And I remember all the prior antecedents, like he treating Abhishek.
What are these prior antecedents you are referring to?
He on 30th March, he accosted us at the main gate of the college, and he just said that
he threatened to kill us for being anti-nationals. And so that thought that time came in my mind, and suddenly I heard that run Abhishek, run for your life. And he just ran. He picked whatever was lying on the road and aimlessly threw it toward the deceased, and it stuck to the head of the deceased, and the deceased stumbled, and after stumbling he just stuck to the stump of the tree, and we just ran away from there.
Were you scared when all this happened?
Actually, I thought again we didn't know what if he again stand up and about to shoot us, or we were afraid. Actually, initially we were afraid from his good physique, like he was very athletic body and 6 feet tall.
Your Lordship, witness is excused.
Thank you.
Finally, I would lastly call on the stage, on stand, Dushyant, defendant witness number 3. Mr. Dushyant, you are under oath. Please could you introduce yourself to the court?
My name is Dushyant Liko. I'm a local leader at Collective Party of Rabat, and to which the Presidency College Union is affiliated.
What do you think of Abhishek and Angad?
I've known them for quite some time. They usually take parts in the active protest.
Do you know the deceased?
Yeah. Yes. His name is Amit Chaudhary. I've seen him with shady peoples. I've also seen him drinking on the road, and he has his name in fake encounters too.
What knowledge, how did you get the knowledge of the incident?
Firstly, I was not present on the scene of incident, and I'm being wrongly implicated because of the vested political reasons. And I got the information in the evening when Abhishek called me.
Why do you think Abhishek and Angad reacted in the way they did?
They acted in
Your
self-defense.
Lordship, if my opponent only 30 seconds more.
Because I also told him that please take the right measures, as they were also told, like Inspector Chaudhary earlier said that you are anti-national and I know how to deal with you people. So I told him that take the right measures. And I think what he did was an act in self-defense, because any prudent man would have done the same.
When did, as per your knowledge, when was Abhishek accosted? You just mentioned he was accosted.
Remember the date, but the incident an incident happened on the 7th, but I don't remember the exact date that when I talked to him, like when I gave the
Counsel for the defense, why are you eliciting opinions? They are supposed to say facts.
I'm not eliciting opinions. He mentioned in his own facts that I have given him advice when they were accosted. So I just asked, when were they accosted as per your
Is an
knowledge?
opinion drawn from a set of facts by the witness admissible in evidence?
Your Lordship, I beg your pardon.
Is the opinion drawn by the witness or an inference drawn by the witness from a set of facts admissible in evidence?
It is admissible in evidence if the witness stands good on his feet in cross-examination as well.
Is he an expert?
He is the accused in this particular matter.
He's not an expert witness.
He is not an expert witness. Witness is excused.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I end my examination chief now. I would like I can hand over the baton to my prosecutor.
May it please this honorable court. This is the co-counsel on behalf of the prosecution in the instant case, here for cross-examination of the defense witnesses. For the sake of convenience, may the counsel refer to the bench collectively as Your Honor. Much obliged, Your Honor. I would like to start my cross-examination by requesting defense witness number 4, which in this case would be number 1, Tanya, for cross-examination. Remember, Tanya, you are under oath, so whatever you speak shall be the truth and nothing but the truth. Thank you. Tanya, how did you know Abhishek and Angad?
Abhishek and Angad.
Objection, Your Lordship. She has already answered that question in examination in chief.
Your Honor, this is just to test the veracity of the witness with reference to their written testimony. Much obliged.
Abhishek is the president of the Union of College, of Presidency College, and Abhishek and Angad both support for right of the students, and they all are a guide to all the students.
And that's the only way you knew them?
Yes.
So you mean to say that he was not in some form of any family connection or you
No.
with anything? All right. Did you know Dinesh and Peter before?
No.
You did not know them before. All right.
Before what date?
Before the incident, Your Honor.
You don't know him before the incident?
No.
Your Honor, the incident has frequently occurred as is stated by everybody. So can opposition mention what day, which time
Yes,
the
indeed.
confrontation happened?
Yes.
Thank you.
Indeed, Honor.
Objection sustained.
Did you know Dinesh and Peter before, let's say, 28th of March?
No.
So when did you come to know about them?
I actually don't know them personally. Anyway, I don't even. There are some guys that who used to.
Your Honor,
eat-
please kindly know this contradiction that the witness has just stated that she did know Dinesh and Peter, and now she's denying that she did not even know them, neither in their personal capacity, and now she's claiming that they are merely two guys.
Your Lordship, clarification here. She said she does not know them personally.
Yes.
And further, she went on to say that they are merely two guys to her.
Let her complete
No,
the answer.
I said that I don't know them personally. They were just two guys who used to Eve tease us. And
So when did you come to know about their names?
come to know about their names. Dinesh and Peter, they used to Eve tease us. So that's why I come.
So you knew the name. Did they tell the names at the time of Eve teasing? Also?
I would like to say that when a witness is confronted like this, an identification parade should have been held by your investigation if you are doubting that the witness does not even know the complaint.
Your Honor, this is just
Prosecution has to prove this.
this is
beyond
just an
reasonable
attempt by the defense to hide the veracity of the witness in this incident matter, and I request the court to kindly let us allow him to. Much obliged. Miss Tanya, when did you come to know about the names? Because it's a very serious matter. There are people Eve teasing you supposedly, and there are people harassing you. So
through
you must.
Abhishek and Angad.
When exactly?
Then
When exactly did you come to know?
I don't
about
remember the exact date that when I know. When
Was
I
it
came
was
to
it on 28th?
No, I told you I don't know
Your Lordship,
exact
the
date.
witness has answered the question. She doesn't remember.
All right. So how many incidents did you say took place of Eve teasing?
First incident took place on 28th of March, then 30th of March, and then last incident 7th of April.
Your Honor, it is requested for the court to kindly note that in the written deposition of Ms. Tanya, she has clearly stated that there were regular incidents of such Eve teasings, supposed Eve teasings, and after that she had approached, and they were not minor, or they were not just merely these three on the 20th, 30th, and the 7th, and there are furthermore.
I object to this by saying that she has clearly stated that there were cases of Eve teasing. That doesn't mean that it was Dinesh and Peter only who were Eve teasing her. She asked them to escort her to the bus stop to save her from any kind of Eve teasing. They may have been a gang.
If the court needs, we can have it read out by the court, our reporters in this case, as has been categorically stated by her that there have been 3 incidents, in fact, with reference to the current question as well.
Your Lordship, an objection. Statements under 161 have no admissibility.
Both sides can reserve their breaths for their arguments.
Much obliged, Your
Evidence
Honor.
go on.
Did you know the inspector?
No,
You did not know the inspector, but you just mentioned it was Inspector Chaudhary in your testimony that you just gave in your chief
I said
examination.
deceased inspector. I didn't name anyone.
So he was a deceased inspector. So you did not know about him, who he was, what
No.
he was? All right. A few more questions for you, Ms. Tanya. Just a sec. Yeah. Can you kindly elaborate on the fact that what happened on 7th of April 2016, just briefly for the court's convenience?
These two guys, Peter and Dinesh, and we were being accompanied by Abhishek and Angad to the bus stop. And these two guys, Peter and Dinesh, again came to the bus stop to Eve tease and harass us. So, so during that time, Peter and Dinesh took steps and they drove them away.
So might I
After some
just stop
time-
you at this minute? Did you know Peter and Dinesh by now?
Yes.
So how did you know about them before this incident?
I told you
No,
that
Lordship,
I don't
yes,
know
yes,
the
yes.
exact date, but I know them through Angad and
answering.
Abhishek.
She doesn't need your assistance. She's answering.
Much obliged, Your Honor. Please proceed. Please proceed.
Yeah. So then again, a tall guy, the deceased inspector came from behind and slapped Abhishek and grabbed him by his neck, and then was taking out his gun to shoot him. So in order to self-defend himself, Peter just Abhishek just grabbed hold of the first thing that came into his hand and just threw it towards him.
So did you see the inspector taking out his gun?
No, he was just about to. He was taking out his gun.
He was taking out his
No,
gun.
he was just about to take out his gun.
What is the difference between the two? Can you please
No.
clarify to the court?
Yeah, because gun was not already out. He was about to take out his
The
gun.
court may kindly take note of this, that Tanya here itself says that the gun was not out and he was just merely trying to reach to the holster, if I may. Would you say it was the holster in which the gun was kept?
I don't
Okay,
know.
she might not be aware of the technical term, but the court may kindly take note of this. And further on, you have just mentioned in your chief examination that, okay, first of all, tell me how far were you at the time when Inspector Chaudhary supposedly grabbed Mr. Abhishek?
I can't specifically tell
Roughly.
the distance. It was a reasonable distance.
A reasonable distance, but still roughly an arm's length, 2 arms length, 3 arms length.
If you show me the picture, I'll tell.
You can't remember.
I remember.
In the
but-
picture, there is no one. It's just an empty place. I just want to know how far you were from Abhishek in that entanglement or that
It
fight.
was a reasonable distance. I can't specifically tell how.
Reasonable distance is a term that the lawyers use.
Question by
Ms.
court.
Tanya.
What's the distance between you and the counsel, approximately?
It was the same distance between me and the.
Exactly the same distance. The court may kindly take note of this. And much obliged, Your Honor. The court may kindly take note of this, that the same distance is being touted, which is roughly about 10 feet right now. And you have gone on to say, and it's on record, and the court can be made aware of that you said he was stinking of alcohol.
He was thinking of.
So you can tell if I am stinking from alcohol right now from
No,
this
no,
distance.
No, I said he was.
You're just making statements.
Let the court hear the answer.
He was thinking of alcohol because when he was slapping, when he was slapping Abhishek, we were just standing there. So he was thinking of alcohol.
Question by court. What was the distance between you and the Abhishek when he slapped?
We were all at the bus stop only.
What is the distance between you two?
He was standing next to me, but when he
Next
was
to you, yes.
yeah, but when he was running for his life, he was near the garage.
The court may kindly take note of this. He's being touted to be near the garage, which is roughly about another 5 to 10 feet
No.
from.
It was just next to the bus stop.
It is perfectly fine. So can you please explain the distance between them? Do you know the distance between the bus stop and the auto garage?
Next question. Next question.
Much obliged, Your Honor. Did you know at the time of the death of the person, was he a cop or what? Were you aware of the fact, or did you have any intuition as to the fact that when the person, whosoever attacked Abhishek, he died, was that he a cop? Were you aware of it at that time?
Let the witness be asked about facts, not intuitions.
All right, indeed, Your Honor, but it has strike reference to the given written testimony, and that's why it is some question which I would request the court to kindly allow for her to answer in order to check the veracity.
Repeat the question.
I would like to ask her, was she aware of the fact that the deceased was a police officer at the time of his death and further on, or did she have any intuition about the fact that he was a police officer at the time?
No.
You did not know. Kindly note the stark difference with reference to their written testimony, wherein she does have some kind of intuition as given under the written testimony, second last paragraph, second last line, where she goes on to say that I think so, he was a cop indeed.
Contradiction is marked.
Much obliged, Your Honor. You're excused, Ms. Tanya. Thank you. The counsel would like to request Mr. Abhishek Lepat, the second witness in this case and defense witness number 1. Mr. Abhishek, I think so, it goes without saying you are under oath, so please whatever you speak shall be the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Indeed, okay. Can you please quickly explain to the court as to how did you know Dinesh and Peter?
Actually, I don't know. I know them after the incident of 30th March. What has happened?
How did you come to know about them after the incident of 30th March?
They were used to UFTs, and that's why we found something else.
Sorry, we cannot, I was not able to understand you. Can you kindly repeat?
I don't know them personally, but I know them. Because they used
Kindly
to
note the
UFTs
contradiction, the-
continuously.
Objection, let the witness complete his statement.
Yeah, please do.
I don't know them personally. They continuously UFTs that two girls who was with me. That's why I know them, that two guys.
So how did you know them by name, that this guy is Peter, this guy is Dinesh?
You know that who filed the complaint now. That's why after the
Did I
7th
complain?
April, I know them. That's why.
kindly note this contradiction as to they were made aware of the fact on 30th March evening itself when they asked about around the college areas and further went on to internet browsing of the names Dinesh and Peter.
My witness never said about internet browsing or anything of that sort. He said after they filed the complaint, I got to know the names. Please don't draw conclusions.
And Your Honor, the prosecution has failed to prove evidence, electronic evidence to even link the internet browsing to the computer of the accused.
It is to be noted by the Honorable Court that according to the written deposition by Mr. Abhishek in the instant matter, in the very last paragraph on page number 14, the very first line, I also asked around about the guys who came on the motorcycle to tease girls from our college. It has been clearly mentioned that this was after the incident on 30th of March 2016, and further the investigation officer's veracity as to the with respect of the search of the browsing history, where he himself said that I did conduct the search, also testifies to the fact that they did research upon for Mr. Dinesh and Mr. Peter. A few questions furthermore for you. So, it seemed that you said that you supported these rallies for Ramaiya and for Kedar Lipat.
No, I didn't say this statement. I'm against the sedition and the draconian law. That's why I didn't support anyone.
Your Honor, kindly note in the given fact sheet it has been clearly mentioned that he was indeed the leader in all these such rallies. Where
Yeah, I was the leader.
Objection, Your Honor, witness
I was
testifying under oath. What was the reason he supported it? What the fact sheet says now is immaterial because he's testifying under oath right now.
We could have testified to anything, but with respect to the competition, just to keep the competition effect as to the, I think so it would be in the best interest to keep and respect the fact sheet in the given instant matter. So, you totally deny having led these rallies?
I had the rallies. I told you I'm against the sedition law, not against the anyone else. I'm against the sedition law and the draconian law.
I never asked
in
who
which
you were
You
against.
mean to say that you held rallies solely against sedition law?
Yeah.
Much obliged, Your Honor. Furthermore, you said you threw pebbles at two people, right?
Yeah.
So, did you pick only the pebbles and then threw it at them? Or did you not decide?
I'm not
just-
aiming anyone. I just want to throw them away from that place only.
No, I'm not saying. The question is very precise. Did you pick and choose a pebble, the right size, a pebble? Because what's the
I
difference
was
between a
not
stone
there
and a
to
pebble?
choose a single pebble. So how was the size?
So how
does it
could-
look?
So
Oh
how
wow, it's a better. I was not there to look at the pebbles.
Exactly. So how could you say that you were throwing pebbles? Because the pebble and the stone, there's not so much so stark difference.
I have a human feeling that how the size, how the this.
The court may kindly take note that this is just a fabrication on part of the defense again to try and tone it down to the from stones to pebbles.
Object, this is casting an aspersion on our case because the reason being that if they are proving that there was stored pebble in their distinction, they should have seized those stones and given them also to forensic
It's for,
analysis to
yes,
establish
very
the
rightly said, it's for the prosecution to show.
What were the incidents on the 30th of March? Can you kindly tell the court?
After the 20th March, that two guys come again on the 30th March. I, Angad, Natasha and Tanya was standing on the bus stand. I and Angad was escorted like on 20th March. And then again that two guys came along with their bikes and passing comments and teasing and they swing their hands like a gun. Then they threatened us and then we took at the pebbles and drove them away from the place.
All right. And after that, nothing happened on that day?
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, kindly.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. There's
Easy.
a point. Let me come out. After that incident, outside the college gate, that police officer came to us and threatened us. I know how to deal with you guys. You are anti-national. Yeah.
When the police officer came to you, who all were present at the time?
Huh?
Who all were present at the time that the police officer came to you?
President, right?
Who all were present at
Yeah,
the
I
time?
and Angad. That
Only the two of you were
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So,
I and Angad.
what happened to Tanya and Natasha?
No, only I and Angad was present. I'm telling you, no?
All right. Further on, nothing else happened on the evening of 30th after that?
After that, we toasted them Dushyant.
Sorry?
Dushyant.
So you did what with Dushyant?
Dushyant, we discussed with Dushyant.
Please
what
don't
to
look
do.
there, look here or look to the court. Right.
Yeah. Okay, fine. We approached the Dushyant, the guy Dushyant.
Who all approached the Dushyant?
I and Angad, I told you.
You and Angad. The court may kindly note this contradiction that only...
We want to go and ask him what to do. He suggests us just do it, what a normal police person have to do on that time only. We just do it.
Thank you so much for even justifying my claim more. The court may kindly take note of this point. that in the fact sheet, paragraph number 15, that's the fifth last line, the only people present at this particular meeting between with Dushyant was Abhishek, Dushyant, and one Mr. Dhruv. Thank you so much for that.
I don't know him, na.
Angad was definitely not there. Few more questions, Mr. Abhishek, if you may.
Yeah.
What exactly did Dushyant tell you?
I didn't remember the words, but he comfort us how to deal with that bully guys and
Bully
he was
guys, right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
bully guys.
So in your phone call made on the evening of 7th after the incident, you have gone on to say, "अरे आपने ही तो कहा था मार डालो साले को और अब आप हमारे protection भी नहीं दे रहे."
I didn't remember the words.
You don't remember the words all of a
I
sudden?
know. I was in the head, na. I don't know. I was confused. I was worried what to do.
So all of a sudden, you call up a person who could have been anything.
I
and you
know
say,
how.
"आपने ही तो
I
कहा
know
था
my
मार
call.
डालो."
I know the.
So you are making serious allegations against Mr. Dushyant then? As to
I
आपने कहा
called
था मार
Dushyant.
डालो.
I called the person Dushyant.
Yeah.
I'm not denying this. I
So what did
don't
you
know
talk
what the
about?
words I said.
What did you talk about then?
I'm talking about that incident. What happened to me?
So what did
he
you talk
told
to
me?
Dushyant? Yeah.
He told me approach the legal authority. Tell them what is happening.
He told you all that on phone. He told you all that in that phone.
He told me about the fact what I have to done.
Easy.
Yeah.
We are just talking about a very casual conversation, Mr. Dhruv. Why are you getting angry?
Every action by opposition has an equal and opposite reaction. If you badger somebody, especially in front of public, this is a reaction that
We can request the public to kindly leave the court. It's not an
Counsel
issue.
for the prosecution frame a question and elicit answer instead of entering into a conversation.
All right, indeed. Do you deny having said this to Mr. Dushyant on the phone call on the evening of 7th after the incident that आपने ही तो कहा था मार डालो साले को और आप हमें हर हालत में बचाओगे?
I didn't remember. I told you.
The court may kindly take note that the witness denies having even remembering any such thing. Where you say Inspector Chaudhary came to you on the 30th of March once. You had some confrontation with him, you and Angad. So where was this exactly?
Outside the college.
Outside the college. All right. Further, you have gone on to say in your recent chief examination that he held you from the back.
Yeah, he come from the back side and slapped me and hold my neck and about to take out his gun.
So can you please explain as to how he was holding you by your neck, like from the back or from the front?
Front side. He
From the
came
front
from,
side.
I told you, I came from back side and
All
then
right.
slapped me, hold me from front, about to take out his shoes.
Right. So you do remember all of this, right?
Yeah, I do remember.
And how
I
did
was
you
there, no?
how did you manage to get free of it? Free of his hold so as to run away?
I just tried to grab out from his, then ran away from my life.
So Angad had no part in helping you get free.
Angas shouted, I don't have presence of mind what Angas said and not said.
No, I'm
Angas
not-
just I have the
I'm not
single
asking that
single
Angas-
line I have heard. Let me complete, please.
Yeah, please do.
Single line I have heard. Go Abhishek, run for your life. This is about the certain threats come in my mind was given by the police officer earlier on the 30th March, and then I run away whatever object I see on the road and just throw away to save my life. What the normal prudent person have to take do this on that time. Proceed.
All right, that'll be all, Mr. Abhishek. You are excused. Thank you. The council would like to request Mr. Angad to please appear for cross-examination. Mr. Angad, you are under oath, so please, whatever you say should be the truth and nothing
Yes,
else. but the
whatever
truth.
I say will be truth.
Much obliged, Mr. Angad. So, Mr. Angad, with reference to one of the questions that was posed as to your support in the rallies, what happened in the aftermath? You were able to remember it, right?
Yes, I remember that. I remember that people after the rallies, the look of the people, like people at the college, changed towards us. There means they started to taunt us for the they were suddenly against us.
Did you know Natasha?
Yes, I know Natasha.
How did you know Natasha?
Natasha is my junior in and pursuing the same course. So she also supports in my rallies and protests.
So because she was a part of a political party, that's about it, right?
No, not a part of my political party.
So whatever it was, so that's about it.
Yes.
The court may kindly note while contradiction again with reference to the written.
Objection. Counsel's question is that was about it. Okay, go ahead. That's not a, there's no specific, there's no specificity.
It's just cross questioning, Your Honor. It's no point of bringing about a leading question. We are allowed to ask leading questions.
Specificity to what?
We are asking you-
on my part, on the part of the witness.
Anyway, the court may kindly take note of this wild contradiction with reference to Mr. Angad. In fact, with reference to Ms. Natasha's written testimony, wherein she has specifically said that they are childhood friends, Mr. Angad and Ms. Natasha.
Your Honor, there is a objection here that Natasha has not even been examined, and the statements made by her under 161 are not admissible since they have not been proved under 145 of the evidence.
It is to bring to the kind notice of the court that it is at the discretion of the court whether to take these statements under 161 as evidence in case of no oral testimony that has been taken further to check on the veracity of those.
161 becomes part of the evidence. When the person of whose statement is recorded is not examined.
Your Lord, it is totally at the discretion of the bench. Much obliged, Your Honor. So, what happened on March 30th? Can you please explain? Just in brief to the court.
On March 30th, Abhishek, Natasha, Tanya, and I were standing at the bus stop, and Peter and Dinesh came over a bike.
So, when did you know about Peter and Dinesh?
You wanted him to
after
narrate
th-
an incident. Why are you interrupting?
Pardon me, Your Lord.
On 30th, then they started teasing Tanya and Natasha. So we pelted small pebbles or stones at them, and then they drove away.
Stones or pebbles?
Yes, and they also, while going away, they had gestured their hands like a gun and gestures their hand like a gun.
And do you remember these words? Let's see who causes accidents.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember. The court may kindly take note. The words were uttered by the witness himself, as has been stated in paragraph 13, the last line, and you also showed a fifth, I believe. Furthermore, when exactly did you come to know about Dinesh and Peter?
Sorry?
When exactly did you come to know about Dinesh and Peter?
After 30th of March.
After 30th of March. When exactly was this? At what time?
After the 2 days after 30th March.
2 days after 30th March. Again, it is to bring to the kind notice of the court the vile contradiction in the testimony of Abhishek and Angad, wherein both of them have sat and asked about for Dinesh, Peter and Inspector Chaudhary on that evening itself outside the college, and furthermore checked on the internet website history.
Actually, I'm talking about the internet only thing.
Even then, Mr. Angad, you would be kind enough to remember that you had checked for your statements you had checked for Mr. Dinesh, Peter and Inspector Chaudhary that day itself. What exactly did Mr. Chaudhary say to you on March 30th, 2016?
On March 30th, he accosted us at a college and says that I dealt with so many like you, and I will kill you for being anti-nationals.
All right. He did say kill you for being anti-nationals. The court may kindly note this contradiction again with reference to paragraph 13 again, wherein
Your Lordship, again, let me just
Let him
clarify this.
complete what he wanted to say.
again with reference to that, Inspector Chaudhary never uttered these exact words that I will kill you in the form of anti-nationals or anything. He just said that you better watch because of the whatever activities they were
Your
doing.
Lordship, one clarification. The fact sheet is just the narration of the story and it is not evidence on record. The annexures, the postmortem report, the forensic report is the evidence, and an examination in chief, what the witness has said, he can cross-examine those, whatever he wants, he can ask further, but the fact sheet is no evidence
Do
here.
you mean to say that the cross-examination should be confined to the chief examination?
No, Your Lordship, but then he's showing stark contradictions between the evidence of what on the fact sheet, but the fact sheet is not evidence, it's a narration of the facts.
Your Honor, just to keep the spirit of the competition alive. That's why we are
Fact sheet
respecting
is
the
a
fact sheet.
narration. Since we are relying on evidence constantly, evidence is to keep the spirit of the competition, as my learned friend keeps it, then don't delve like the fact sheet is the evidence. It's not evidence, the remaining part.
Your Honor, the counsel like an extension of 5 minutes just to wrap up this and the next further question. Much obliged, Your Honor. Your Honor, with respect to fact sheet, maybe the organizer of the competition can clarify on that further. Much obliged. You say Abhishek was grabbed by Inspector Chaudhary?
Yes,
And how was he grabbed? Can you please explain?
he grabbed by front.
From where?
He came from back.
Yeah.
And then he slapped, and just he grabbed him.
From the front?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. Further on, all right. So, did you see Inspector Chaudhary take out his gun from the holster?
He was just about to draw his gun, and at that time,
What is about?
no,
draw?
and that time, do you think that I was
in the condition to think that.
Okay, I would like to request you, Mr. Angad, at that point in time, if you had the presence of mind to tell your childhood friend and your supposedly mentor that you watch out for your life, I think so you were in the right state of mind to probably ascertain as
Yes,
to whether...
I'm in the right state of mind.
The court may kindly take note of that the witness has said that he was in the right state of mind at the given instance. So can you please explain as to what is the difference between about to take out a gun and taking out a gun or reaching for the holster?
He just reached the holster.
The court may kindly
The
take
gun
note of
was
this,
not picked
that
out.
Mr. Angad himself has stated here under cross-examination that he merely reached for the holster and further nothing can be clarified. That'll be all, Mr. Angad. You are excused.
Thank you.
The counsel would like to request the last witness for the day, that is Mr. Dushyant, for cross-examination. Mr. Dushyant, you are under oath, so kindly state truth and nothing but the truth. Mr. Dushyant, how did you know Angad?
I don't personally know Angad. He just always accompanies Abhishek.
So, what happened on March 30th meeting?
March 30th meeting.
Yeah.
I don't remember any meeting at March 30th.
You don't remember anything at all?
Yeah.
So you don't remember advising Abhishek about anything? or
I
anyone?
don't remember the date, March 30.
So you had a meeting with them?
earlier. I don't remember the
Okay,
date.
forget the dates. What
Okay.
happened in the meeting?
I said,
Who all were present in the meeting?
Your Lordship is badgering the witness.
We are asking questions, leading questions.
You're
here.
not allowing him to complete.
One question after
Yeah,
the
please
other.
answer.
Let him complete at least.
Sure, he can.
Thank you.
Please go on.
I was with Dhruv and then Abhishek came with Angad. He told me about the incident with Inspector Chaudhary and I said him like,
Let me hold you right there. Again, the court might
sir,
kindly
can
note-
I complete my statement?
I request you to hold right there. The court,
Please complete your answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Where was I? Yeah. So I was with Mr. Dhruv.
Presently, you are in a court.
Sir, can I?
We are talking about an incident.
Sorry, I
You are
like.
present with Mr. Abhishek.
Yeah, I was Mr. Dhruv and
I was Mr. Dhruv. All of them you are Mr. Dhruv.
Please rephrase the question.
You're not even audible,
Rather
counsel.
than playing theatrics in court right now.
Exactly, that's what I'm pointing out. So rather than saying where was I?
Would you like to continue with the answer?
yes, sir.
Yes.
So I was with Dhruv and suddenly Abhishek and Angad came and they told me about the incident with Amit Chaudhary and then I told him that take the right measures. I never said that maar dal salo ko. I never said that. I never uttered that and I just said that take the right measures. What do you think to act in self-defense or something like that?
The court may kindly take note of two wild contradictions in this case. First of all, Mr. Angad was not present as has already been proved with reference to the cross-examination of Mr. Abhishek. And the second wild contradiction in the instant matter would be him totally and completely denying having uttered the words maar dalo sale ko, which again can be ascertained right from the fact sheet and from the phone call that Mr. Abhishek.
Examination, you confront the witness a contradiction made by him or by somebody else.
Indeed, Your Honor, the contradiction has to be made by him. However, with reference to him saying that there was indeed Angad present, we just
Confined
wanted
to
to
his
point it out.
previous statement when you want to contradict him.
Much obliged, Your Honor. So, did you in that meeting while advising something, did you say defend yourself in any form to him? Do you
I don't
roughly
remember.
You don't remember the words. The court may kindly take note of that. Then why did you deny all of a sudden on the phone call and state to Abhishek that you will bring shame to?
I never said that kill that person. I
I'm
never
not
said
talking
that.
about killing that person. It's a simple question. Why did you say that you will bring shame to the union? Can you tell me when this phone call was made?
7th.
7th April. What time?
I don't remember the time.
You don't remember the time? Morning, afternoon?
No, it was in the evening.
It was in
after
the
7 or 8. I don't remember the exact time.
All right. So why did you deny during the phone call saying that no, you are a foolish fellow, don't call me and don't stop saying or dragging my name into this nonsense? What was it that scared you?
Can you please repeat the question?
Your Lordship badgering the witness.
Let
Let
him-
him
let
answer
him-
one question.
Let the witness is alert, let the question be repeated.
Indeed, Your Honor. At the time of this phone call that you have made to, in fact, Mr. Abhishek has made to you, you go on to say that, shut up, stop this nonsense and don't drag my name unnecessarily into this mess of yours that you have created.
Can you
by this."
please tell the before statement what he said that I said that shut up, don't speak the
For your honor,
shit.
generally when a cross-examination is conducted, I think the opposition should show the statement and point out that is it true to
It is the
say that
choice.
this part is true or not true. How can a witness remember, as quoted by his witness only 4 months ago, what
It is with reference to the choice of the witness under section 145 of the Evidence Act, and further for the discretion of the court whether if the witness wants it or if the court feels the necessity in the case that he or she would want to refer to their old written testimony or any other form of testimony that they may deem fit for it to be shown to them.
Can you please show it to me?
Yeah, please, I will. Yeah, sure. May I?
Your Honor, also, I think the time of the court is getting wasted because since we're
Waste, I don't- I'm not
certain
getting-
time limits have been laid down and my co-counsel has well exceeded the time. So please take that into consideration.
The co-counsel has sought the permission of the court, and if the court feels that the need is done, the
Can you
co-counsel
please read the statement what Abhishek said?
So Abhishek went on to say that what? You only told Mardalo Isko and said you'll protect me at all costs, and now you scold me. And now suddenly I am a liability to the party. Now only you are showing your real face, you punk.
Yeah, obviously he was like blaming it on me. So how can I take it? Like he was blaming it on me that I told him. I never told him to kill him.
So you categorically deny to having made these statements.
Yeah.
The court may further note. Just one final question to you, Mr. Dushyant. With reference to that, or rather, that'll be all for the day. You are excused, Mr. Dushyant.
Thank you.
Much obliged, Your Honor. The counsel would like to proceed with the closing statement on behalf of the prosecution. Much obliged, Your Honor. Your Honor, Justice Ganguly said that a miscarriage of justice which may arise from the acquittal of the guilty is not less than from conviction of an innocent. And in the instant matter, it's nothing but these three accused who shall be held guilty by this court. And as has been evident through the stringent cross-examination of the defense witnesses, through which wild contradictions have been reported and nothing but it seems to be have been fabricated in the given instance. And thus, we would request the Honorable Court to take this into consideration as to the cross-examination of the witness that they have failed to substantiate. And further on, when in the case that they are pleading an exception to under Article 304, the burden of proof shifts onto the defense to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt as to the reason as to why they used self-defense as an exception in the given instance. Further on, I would like to say that the chain of events with reference to the charges being put on, that is section 304 read with section 34 of the Rabat Penal Code, can be explained in the following senses. First of all, section 8 of the Evidence Act, the intention can also be ascertained a little bit here from motive. That section 8 of the Evidence Act said that any fact is relevant which shows or constitutes motive or preparation for any fact in issue or relevant fact. The current intention or the motive in the instant case can be dealt from the fact that yes, indeed, Mr. Dushyant in that particular meeting had advised him by saying that Mar dalo sare ko, kam se kam hamare neta to khush honge, and Mr. Abhishek and Angad, being the fiery young political leaders in their college as they were, they wanted this pedestal to move on up the ranks of their political party, and as such they worked towards it, which formed the establishment of the very intention. And further, the charge of 107, that is abetment through instigation, which has been laid down on Mr. Dushyant, can also be proved by this very manner, as he was the very person who instigated Mr. Abhishek and Angad to do this crime. Further on, Your Honor, the private defense that the defense has been seeking for, the exception for private defense is defense is trying to establish for Mr. Abhishek, and is not going to hold in a court of law simply because of section 99 of the RPC, which categorically states that if you want, I can read out the exact barak to you. However, I believe the Your Honor are already aware of it. So it does not hold simply because of the fact that nothing. The private defense would not be applicable to a person or a public officer who is discharging his public functions under the color of his office and in good faith. Further on, it can be noted that even despite of not being in the official uniform of the police dress and just being in civil uniform, it has to be noted that section 22 of the police officers. Indeed, Your Honor.
What are the ingredients of section 186 here? They are present here?
Your Honor, I would just get to that. I was just trying to prove. If you want, I can deal with section 186 first. What would Your Honor like?
Clarify whether there are ingredients of 186 or not.
Indeed, Your Honor.
In the instant case. The case of prosecution.
Indeed, Your Honor. With reference to 186, yes, indeed,
it is very clear as to the ingredients which are being satisfied. The ingredients of the act, and I quote, the section 186 of the Rabat Penal Code states that obstructing a public servant in discharge of public functions. Whoever voluntarily obstructs any public servant. For this, we'll have to refer to section 186, which explains that voluntarily, which explains as to what voluntarily would mean, and I would like to bring it to your kind attention in just a second. Yes, indeed, Your Honor, section 39 of the Indian Penal Code defines voluntarily as a person is said to cause an effect voluntarily when he causes it by means whereby he intended to cause it, or by means which at the time of employing those means he knew or had reason to believe to be likely to cause it, which in the instant case is very evident by the fact that
What exactly the obstruction here?
Indeed, Your Honor, the obstruction being that first of all, on behalf of Angad, that is the accused number 2, he had jumped on or he had caught hold of the police officer who was merely there trying to calm down the public because of the ruckus that was created and trying to maintain public order and peace and tranquility in the given instance. And further on, he obstructed him by holding, and then Mr. Abhishek had a great chance to take up the metal rod and throw it towards the police officer, which further obstructed him from discharging in functions and which led to the sad demise of Inspector Chaudhary in the instant matter.
Was he in his uniform when the offense took place?
Your Honor, no. Inspector Chaudhary was not in his uniform. However, the
Is there evidence on record to say whether he is in charge of law and order duty or traffic duties?
Your Honor, there is no such direct fact which states to this. However, the counsel would like to bring your kind attention to section 22 of the Police Act 1861, which states that a police officer is always on duty, and as such, being a police officer of a good repute and an honorable police officer, he just wanted to ensure that public tranquility is always ensured and peace and order can be maintained, which falls under the prerogative of the state police in this.
Is there evidence on record as to which police station this deceased is attached?
Your Honor, no, there are no direct evidence which states that which police station.
Is there evidence that this territory is within the jurisdiction of his police station?
No, Your Honor, there is no direct evidence which states that. Further on, with reference to section 34 as already been stated, and the counsel would like to move on to the prayer if possible. Wherefore, in lights of the facts stated, arguments and the cross-examination and the chief examination of the prosecution witnesses and the defense witnesses, the Honorable Court may be pleased to hold, adjudge and declare that the accused are guilty under section 304, that is culpable homicide not amounting to murder, read with section 34, common intention of the Rabat Penal Code 1860. Further on, that accused 1 and 2 in the instant matter, being Abhishek and Angad, are guilty of obstructing a public servant in the discharge of public functions under section 186 of the Rabat Penal Code 1860. And further on, in addition to that, the third accused, being Mr. Dushyant in this particular case, is guilty of, and Angad as well, are guilty of abetment under section 107 of the Rabat Penal Code 1860. And
is
further,
there any provision in the police manual that he should carry his weapon when he is uniformed and discharging duty?
Your Honor, the counsel would like to plead ignorance as to that fact and could get back to you if given time so as to satisfy the question of the court. However, it is to be kindly noted by the court that a police officer, if he is carrying a gun in civilian uniform, he would have the powers of a civilian, only with the exception of the citizen's arrest. Much obliged, Your Honor. Will the counsel be of any further assistance to this court today? Much obliged, Your Honor. The counsel thanks the court for a patient hearing.
Your Honor, without prejudice to my case, I would just like to answer the question addressed by your lordship to the opposite counsel. That under the Rabat Police Act, a police officer can carry a gun without, when he is not on duty. However, a special order to that effect has to be issued under section 23. I would now like to deliver my closing on the basis of all the evidence that has been adduced from both sides and not on the basis of the fact sheet as has been done by my learned opposition. Since the spirit of Surana being a trial is to contradict on the facts and evidence that are brought on record. I would just like to clarify before I begin that we have pleaded an exception under section of the IPC and not under Article 304 of the Indian Penal Code. Before I deal with my issues, I would just like to make a few clarifications with relation to whatever was brought on record in the examination in chief of my witness, in cross of my witnesses. I would like to say that any person in this room, sir, if you call that person up here and ask him, please point out the directions as to north, south, east, west, or tell me the distance between myself and the television, any normal layman will not understand that geography and will not be able to tell you in the first instance. Secondly, the police officer had a holster and he was in mufti. So even though assuming that he was not even going to remove it, but just the action of even touching his belt would have caused that reasonable apprehension that the gun is going to be removed from the holster. And the last thing I would like to clarify is that the rallies for my clients, as they mentioned, but I don't think it was clearly brought on record, that they were for the reason behind and the arbitrary arrest, and not only, they were not favoring anybody. And since my learned opposition is banking on the fact sheet, I would also like to point your attention to the fact sheet where it is said that Kevdar Lepat allegedly made comments. So they themselves have not been proved in the first case, and the cardinal principle of criminal jurisprudence is innocent until proven guilty. Now I will prove how the prosecution has been unable to prove beyond reasonable doubt the instant case, and benefit of doubt should be given to my clients. The charges.
Is it a case where cardinal principle of jurisprudence of criminal law would apply when you have taken a plea of exception?
Your Honor, as per the Indian Evidence Act, it is also said that though the burden of proof rests on the prosecution and the burden shifts when a general exception is pleaded. However, there is a proviso to a proviso that the burden of proof ultimately continues to rest on the prosecution. I would now like to say how the entire case has been concocted, fabricated, as was produced in front of you by examining all the witnesses, especially the investigating officer. The charge sheet that has been filed in the instant case cannot be said to be substantial evidence and is only a guiding factor. If due to paucity of time, I wouldn't get into reading out judgments that the Apex Court has laid down, and all my submissions are backed by legal authorities, which if my lordships would recommend, I would let you know the citations amongst other relevant queries. First of all, the right of private defense existed. There was a reasonable apprehension of danger, not only because of the holster, but because of the prior threats just 7 days ago. His athletic physique caused reasonable apprehension that this man A is a police officer. He's slapping me, he's accosting me. And it has been laid down in a plethora of judgments that there's no need for an actual offense to be committed. Even just holding him by the neck was apprehension enough. He has been accused of fake encounters. That creates an impression of antecedents that if he could have killed XYZ, he can kill me too. Also, assessing the force at the reasonable time, the Supreme Court has said that you cannot assess it in golden scales, because at that point of time, your main aim is to save your life. Both the accused 1 and 2, did not possess the mens rea, and the prosecution has failed to prove the essential ingredients of culpable homicide not amounting to murder, which is knowledge and intention. This is proved by the fact that, Your Honors, they were unarmed. They came, he picked up the metal rod and just threw it. Had he had the intention, he would have come and inflicted a blow on him. He wouldn't have thrown it aimlessly. We do not.
Is there evidence as to what is the weight of the rod, what is the length of the rod?
Your Honors, the metal rod is considered as a murder weapon by the prosecution. So the burden is on them to prove how the metal rod was sufficient a weapon enough to have killed the deceased. Besides, forensic evidence, DNA, fingerprints have not been linked. We do not fall within the exception of section 99. Since he was a police officer, he was acting without jurisdiction. I agree, a police officer is on duty all the time, but in the instant case, there's been no evidence brought on record to show that any nuisance to public property was happening. There were no people who were getting hurt. There was no obstruction at all, so he was acting not in good faith, and not under the color of his office. And accused number 2's actions do not amount to intention and knowledge, since he only said run for your life. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Since he only said run for your life. Next, there was no pre-arranged plan since the two ingredients, that is meeting of minds and physical presence, have not been proved. Dushyant was not even present at the scene of offense. The transcripts that have been produced showing that there was a discussion cannot be relied upon, as already contended that no expert has testified to the same, and the electronic record is not admissible today. Also, none of the accused have admitted to the fact that Dushyant, who's accused number 3, actually instigated the accused by making the statements as alleged by the prosecution. Instigation, Your Honors, advice in no way amounts to instigation. There was no conspiracy, there was no meeting of minds. Had there been, they would have come armed with a weapon. He just said, run, Your Lordship. Next, public obstruction under 186 is clearly and prima facie not made out. Firstly, an application has to be filed under 195A, 1A of CRPC by the person obstructed or his superior officer, which was not done. He was not discharging his public functions because he was drunk, as confirmed by the forensic report. He was not in his uniform. He slapped and accosted the guy without even explaining why he is doing so, for no apparent reason. This was an arbitrary use of his powers. It has been laid down by the Apex Court that the mere fact of a public servant believing that he was acting in the discharge of his duties cannot justify any kind of obstruction. Next, it was not voluntary because Angad did it in private defense with no intention and knowledge. And Abhishek and Angad, his mere words saying run away, how does it amount to obstruction? He did not even touch the boy. He did not say anything like don't prevent him from doing it. These words clearly don't amount to any kind of obstruction. My learned opposition has said that Angad jumped on the deceased, but they have not been able to prove by any evidence that Angad actually jumped on the deceased or no, thereby falsely implicating him. Thus, the ingredients of instigation and of 186 have not been proved. Now, to rely on the documentary evidence, after which I will conclude, is that the doctor has clearly said that the cause of death was triggered by the Now, the metal rod hit the accused. We are not disputing the fact. However, as he had consumed alcohol, he was wobbly, as my witnesses have examined, and they were not discredited on that. He stumbled, he fell, and his head hit the stump of a tree. Now, had the prosecution wanted to deny this, they should have again produced forensic evidence to show the same. Also, Your Lordship, the potassium level that has been recorded claims that even if nothing, any of this had happened, he could have just caused death. So the blow was not even required for the same to happen. And the forensic report says that this happened by an object traveling at high speed. Traveling can impute the fact that it was thrown and it was not hit, which is also confirmed by all my witnesses and even admitted by the witnesses they have produced. Lastly, Your Lordships, not a single eyewitness has been present. Not a single eyewitness has been present at the scene of occurrence, and the complainant himself does not know the names of the accused. The investigation officer has not carried out the regular procedures. This raises an eyebrow and suspicion on the very prima facie investigation itself. So I would just like to end by saying that when there is a genuine element of doubt, there must be a right of acquittal. And I would like to end my submissions by making a prayer before this honorable court that in light of the arguments made and all the evidence honestly brought on record, please grant the verdict of acquitting all my 3 clients, that is Abhishek accused number 1, Angad accused number 2, and Dushyant accused number 3 from all the charges they have been falsely implicated against them, since Dushyant was not even aware of such an incident, and Angad and Abhishek had absolutely no mens rea, that is foresight coupled with desire or knowledge, to commit such heinous offenses that they have been charged with. I would appreciate if the decision goes in our favor, as I want justice to prevail. And I want these innocent people not to be convicted and ruin their life, since they are college students looking for a better career in future. It was a pleasure arguing before this court.
Before judgment is reserved, assuming for a moment your plea of private defense is accepted, are you entitled to a clean acquittal or punishment for a lesser offense?
Your Lordship, I will answer your question under section. Just 1 second, Your Lordship. I will answer your question. Give me my provision sheet. I'll just get back to the section, but Your Lordship, under the Criminal Procedure Code, even if you are charged for a higher offence, you are entitled. I'll just take. Under section 203 of the CRPC, even if you are charged with a major offence, if you are not acquitted, you can plea for a lower offence, and the sentencing happens under section 235(2). So in case you do not grant us an acquittal, we do plead for you to apply your wise prudence and discretion and at least save us those few years that would have spent in jail, making us hardened criminals from the fact when we were innocent in the first place.
What is the lesser offence according to you which would stand attracted?
Probably the offence of 2 years under section 324 of the IPC, causing only hurt. It was a pleasure arguing before this court.
Let us disperse for putting on the mark somewhere.
We'll get back within 5 minutes.
You are excellent.